Let's take you to one of our developing stories. The City of Tshwane has expressed concern over reports of people selling untested drinking water to Hammanskraal residents. It follows a cholera outbreak in the area, which has claimed over 20 lives. Tshwane Mayor Cilliers Brink joins us for more on this. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. You're sounding the alarm as a city, of course, following reports of unauthorized water tankers selling water to some residents. How are you ensuring that communities get their water through contracted service providers?
Good evening, Paul. Yes, of course, in times of crisis and emergency, you'll always have some folks who try and exploit the situation to their own benefit. The big risk is that any contractors who are trying to sell water without a permit isn't tied contractually to undergo the type of checks that the municipality imposes, the hygiene standards and so forth. So you could have a situation where somebody who delivers water to a construction site, for example, then shadows or moonlights to provide water and then charges folks for that water, and it doesn't comply with hygiene standards. So the measures that we have put in place, aside from checking on our constructed water tank, is making sure they abstract the water the points that for human. We've also now set up to check for water tankers who are trying to deliver water without permits, and we've also put together a call center with a number which I'm happy to give to you and share with you, where residents can report any water tankers to the TMPD that are trying to sell water, because the city will not be selling water. The city provides water for free via our network of water tankers. We do not sell water, and anybody trying to sell water without a permit is in fact liable for prosecution.
Mayor Cilliers, we lost you there as you were trying to give us some clarity, but what I can say is that speaking to Newzroom Afrika, some residents of Hammanskraal have said that they've always had to buy their water anyway because they've endured a decade-long struggle with water and sanitation issues in Hammanskraal. Perhaps give us more clarity around the measures you've taken as a city to ensure that residents don't continue to buy their water, because at the moment, I mean, you'll understand that there's a lot of panic, and also some clarity on the water provided by the city. Has that been tested? Okay, I hope that I am clear now and that the connection is better. Yes, much better. All right, so let's be clear. The city provides 44 water tankers on a daily basis to the formalized area of the Temba water supply area, and 53 water tankers on a less frequent basis to informal settlements. Now, each of these contracts have got provisions of where water is to be abstracted and where and hygiene measures that need to be taken. There have been several tests on these water tankers to determine whether they are in fact the source of the cholera. The tests have been negative thus far, although tests continue. So those are the measures that we put in place. Obviously, after the outbreak of cholera, we also asked a number of extensive questions that need to be answered by the departments that control these water tanker contractors. But we've also taken an additional measure in deploying Tshwane Metro Police officers to check for instances where water tankers are trying to sell water to the public, trying to exploit the crisis that currently exists to sell water to the public without the necessary permits. Those water tanker operators are liable for criminal prosecution. And the Tshwane Metro Police has also set up a number where residents can report any water tanker trying to sell water, and I can give you that number. It's 012-358-7059. 012-358-7059, where residents can report these instances. Let me be clear. The city does not charge and should not charge for the distribution of water in the timber supply area. If there are instances where city trucks or contracted trucks are selling water, that is in fact abuse, and it must be reported to the authorities and to the line that I've just provided.
And how can residents verify the permit's authenticity?
Well, anybody in the first instance who charges for water from a water tanker must be suspected immediately. So, short of asking for a permit, I think residents should take the number plate of that truck and report it in any event to see whether there is such a permit. Because these practices shouldn't be going on. There should be sufficient resources to provide water for free, and so anybody who charges for water from a water tanker in Hammanskraal should be treated with suspicion.
Yeah, okay. We appear to have lost Tshwane Mayor Cilliers Brink, giving us some clarity and also urging the residents of Hammanskraal not to buy the water that is going around in tankers because it should be free of charge.